Welcome back to the part 2 of the video that I uploaded a couple of days ago, where I've talked about everything you need to know about student visa, tier 4 student visa. So this is the concluding part where I'll be talking about everything that you need to know with regards to you submitting your application to the Home Office. So regards to you submitting your application to the embassy. Now we are going to be discussing your application fee, some other fee that you need to pay, and we are going to be discussing the processing time as well. All right, visa is a point-based system where you need to have 40 points for them to be able to grant you your visa. So once you have 40 points, it's sure they're going to grant you your visa. 30 points for you having an offer to study a full-time course from an approved institution, and 10 points for you having the necessary financial requirement. Basically, you having your maintenance fee in your account. And I remember telling you that the maintenance fee has to be in your account for a total of 28 days. And I advised that you should not take the maintenance fee out. Leave it there until your visa has been approved. And also, I mentioned that once you've got those total points, they've got no choice but to approve your visa. So don't forget, I've been using myself as a case study here. So in this instance now, I've got the money in my account for a total of 28 days. Now I can print my bank statement. I always advise that you start filling your application form before that 28 days. So basically, you don't have to rush. Also, you need to bear in mind that you can actually come to the UK 3 months before the start of your course. So there is no need for you to rush at all, because I see most people now, they get to submit the application very late, or maybe like a month before the course starts date. Then now they start rushing and rushing. No, I don't advise you to rush. Know that you can come into the UK 3 months before your course starts date. So that gives you enough time to prepare yourself. That gives me enough time to come into the UK, settle down, and get familiar with your environment. So now, like I said, I always advise you to submit your application way ahead of time. Let's say my course actually starts. And now that the money in my account has been there for 28 days, I can print out my statement now. Yeah, in this instance, I've had the money in my account for a total of 28 days. I can print my statement out now. I always advise that you kind of apply on time, so you avoid all the rush hour and the hurry, and now you start buying expensive plane tickets. So let's just avoid that. You can come to the UK 3 months before your course starts. So it gives you enough time to settle, to get familiar with your environment. So now, I'm using myself as a case study, don't forget. Now my statement is ready. It's been in my account for 28 days. I've printed it out. I filled my application form that I'm going to be submitting at the embassy. Everything is done online now. So you fill the application form, you submit, and you pay your application fee. Your application fee is £363 if you're applying outside of the UK. I believe you'll be applying outside of the UK in this instance. So your application fee is £363. And there is another fee too that you're going to be paying alongside your application fee, which we call the IHS fee. Stands for IHS, Immigration Health Surcharge. When I came into the UK, it was I didn't get to pay that. It was free. Basically, I think it was 2 years after I arrived in the UK that they start charging international students that. That is just for you to be able to access the healthcare in the UK, which is not bad, really, in my own opinion. So now you get to pay that fee, which is £624. There is an online calculator that you need to use to be able to calculate the exact amount that you need to pay, because that amount is per year. So it's £624 per year. I'll link to that online calculator in the description box so you can know the exact amount that you're going to be paying. In this instance, I've calculated my own amount. There's a couple of questions that you need to answer. It generates the amount. So in this instance, the amount that it says I have to pay, it's about £700. So now I've got to pay my application fee, which is £363, and I have to pay my IHS fee as well, which is £702. So once I've paid all the fee, I've paid my application fee, I've paid my IHS fee as well, and I've submitted my form. The next thing I need to do is to book my visa appointment date for me to be able to go do my biometrics. So biometrics basically is them taking your fingerprints, your 5 fingers, and taking your pictures. For student visa, you'll be doing something called student interview. They get to ask you a couple of questions: why you want to come into the UK, why that particular university. I can make a separate video on how you get to answer those questions properly, because the way you answer to actually matters. To be honest with you, as a student, you need to do your research properly. You need to get some vital information. Like they ask you, why do you want to come into the UK, and you just say, to study. So what are you going to do after your course? I'm going to stay back. Red flag. You don't say that. There are certain ways that you need to answer the question when they ask you. So I'm going to make a separate video for that as well, and I'll be uploading it later on. So once you do that, then you have to wait for them to decide on your visa if you've been granted or not. But by God's grace, in this scenario, in this instance, I'm hoping that they're going to grant me the visa. So yeah, after, I think the processing time is about 3 weeks, which is 15 days, excluding Saturday and Sunday. So for example, if you submit on June 1st, then you expect that by June 20 or thereabout, then you should hear from them. And if you don't hear from them, that's fine. You can always send them an email. There is a paid email that you can send to them, and they respond to you quickly. And if you know you don't send an email, you can also call them as well. There is a number that you can call, but bear in mind that you're going to be charged for it. So you can call them. And from my experience, and once you call them, they can tell you, oh, it's not been decided yet, your application hasn't been decided upon yet. Just give them time, like a week or so. Call them again or reach out to them. They give you a response. But that is when you are trying to apply your visa during the rush hour. That is when you get to do that. But when you do it way ahead of time, when you submit, you know, before the rush hour, you don't need to call them. Within 15 days, your visa is out. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I hope you've been able to get one of two things from this video. You've been able to learn something, and I hope it's detailed enough. And if you still need more information, don't hesitate to send me an email. My email is in the description box below. Also, you can put your comment on there if there is anything that you need me to explain more. But I believe I've actually explained it in detail enough. Everything that you need to know is on the internet. If you, like I said in my previous video, I said I'll be talking about universities that you can also apply to. There are universities that are taking June application now for 2023. You can apply for that, and there is also September batch as well. Yeah, so I'm going to make some findings, and I'll do a video on those universities as well. All right, thank you for watching. Like I always say, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, comment, turn on the notification bell. It's a family up here. It's a family, it's a community. All right, so thank you everybody, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.